I guess I'll just start recording and
Alright,
let's see.
I'm
3,
recording too.
2, 1. Alright. So recording has started. Pretty cool.
Hello.
So hi there. As you can see, this is King Julian.
Okay, don't call me that.
Yes.
Literally a lemur.
Alright, so let's begin with this. So, gentlemen, welcome to Rain and Blitz. And now the premise of Rain and Blitz is to bring in the familiar faces, the recognizable faces of BSG players, bring them over as to an interview or a podcast if you want to call it, and explain, and we get their explanations, their stories, their perspectives, their opinions, etc., etc. Basically, to put it in a summary, this is the story of Brother Toxin, aka Julian Plays Blitz. So, let's get started with this.
Alright.
So, Julian, what I do want to get started is, let's start with introduction to your, what can I call it? Let's take it as like this. What got you to come into Minecraft, to the Hypixel server, and specifically to Blitz survival games?
Okay, I
What
guess
was the
I'll do
inspiration?
them all in order, I guess. Minecraft, I got into Minecraft from, I believe I was in 6th grade, and there were like some kids in my class talking about Minecraft, and I heard and I was like, yo, what's this Minecraft thing? And they told me to watch this YouTube channel called the Yogscast, actually. So this
Mm-hmm.
is like 2012, 2011, 2012 time.
Oh, wow.
And I looked up the Yogscast, and I watched the first thing I ever watched from Minecraft was their survival series. The first it was normal Minecraft style, then it was Shadow of Israfel, like that
Yeah.
whole series. And I thought that was actually how Minecraft worked. I thought Minecraft was a story game. When I first watched their series, I had no other context that Minecraft was a sandbox game. I thought that because I asked one of my friends the next day, "Hey, have you guys found?" I forget what the town was called, but the town they find in the beginning of the story. I asked them if they found that yet. And they're like, "No, that's just that series. It's a sandbox game." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I got that." But that's how new I was to the game at that point. So
Wow.
then I got Minecraft Pocket Edition on my phone. I didn't have a PC. And I played that for probably a year before I got a laptop. And this
Wow.
laptop was like a 20 FPS laptop, and I played a game called Super Craft Brothers, which is an old game on Mindcade. People who play Blitz, like the Elemental Bros, Ducking, Simply Square. If anyone here knows Gideon Cahill, people like that, they came from Super Craft Brothers as well. And well, I guess the way I made the jump from Super Crap Brothers to Blitz was through this YouTuber called Extra Plays MC, who was originally a Super Crap Brothers player, and I watched that guy play that game a lot. And then one day he made a video on Blitz, and I was like, "Yo, I'll check this out." I'd already played on Hypixel. I'd played the walls and stuff because the walls was a big thing with like the big YouTubers back then. The recorded rounds for the walls, the Yogscast and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and like all the big YouTubers back then. Stampy Cat, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the big ones, the big boys back in
Yes.
2012.
Yeah.
So I played the walls in Hypixel. I also played it on a server called Spartan MC, which is long dead now. So I got into the walls that way. And then I saw him play Blitz, and I was like, "Yo, I'll check that out." And I recall this. For some reason, I recall this. The first game I ever played, I played Meatmaster 1 on Citadel. That was the first game of Blitz I think I ever played. And I'm not certain about that because I don't know if Citadel was actually released later than I think it was, but this is like probably like mid to late 2013. I did
Yeah.
this, something like that, and I got into Blitz that way pretty much. That's pretty much the whole story. Now we're here.
Wow. Holy hell. So it came just from just a friend recommending Minecraft to, as a definition, a sandbox game to just playing over to a random server of Mine Arcade.
Mindcade.
Yeah, I usually call it Mine Arcade back then.
Well, I guess it might have been the name at some point.
It's just that Mindcade. Jesus, the name of it. It's like, who calls it like Mindcade? And then finally, you just went to Blitz Survival Games because it was just inspired from a random YouTube creator that showcased Blitz Survival Games. Kind of reminds me of myself. That was the same thing I got inspired from. So you now reached the point where you've played Blitz Survival Games. And what got you to the point to make a YouTube channel and upload content of Blitz Survival Games, especially with your name, Julian Plays Blitz?
That's a good question. I believe my first YouTube video ever was called My 500th Blitz Win, and it was my 500th Blitz Win. I think I was playing like Speleologist 8 or Speleologist 9 in that video. And I used Fraps to record that. I probably had about 30 FPS when I did that. And it was on a trash computer, but that was my first ever video. I honestly don't know what inspired me to make a YouTube channel. I just kind of had wanted to for a long time because I'd watched all the other like YouTubers upload Minecraft content. And I thought, yo, I think that'd be cool to do myself. I might have even like watched Technoblade or like I mean I've been subbed to that guy since he had like 200 subs, man. It's crazy how far that guy's come, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, especially for you. As a matter of fact, I've watched some of your content way back when you uploaded some of that early goodness.
yeah.
You know, for example, like the Calum vid. I remember seeing that specifically. Then you had the commentating
The
vid.
one with Willow 4?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that was my first Minecraft friend on Blitz, I think.
Like, it was incredible how time passed on. As a matter of fact, I've even saw you played with some of the recognizable faces of Blitz survival games. Like, for example, Majestic Walrus. I know that you probably had a good connection with Majestic, and
Man, we still talk to this day, me and Mason.
That is amazing, though.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know, Majestic Walrus stated that it was his last day, and lucky for you, you were able to record that final hour with Majestic Walrus in Blitz survival games.
Yeah, the day before he got banned. Most viewed video, by the way. It's like over 3K views now.
But holy hell, your YouTube channel is almost close to reaching 1,000 subscribers. And with that 1,000 subscribers, you are going to be part of the YouTube partnership program, allowing your videos to be monetized, and you get paid for it. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of excited for that because, like, I'd be doing YouTube whether I get paid or not. Like, it's not like if I suddenly found out I'm not gonna get paid, I just stop doing videos because like a lot of the fun is just like making montages and showing off and streaming and interacting with people. I have a genuinely good time doing that, and I'm not getting paid right now, and I'm still doing it. But if I can like make money off of YouTube doing a thing I'd be doing anyways, it'd be really cool. That'd be, especially being a college student.
Oh yeah, and especially with the Blitz survival games content, Hypixel content, you know, everything is on your hands. Are you considering publishing any other content besides Blitz or Hypixel?
I actually just made a joke in the Echoes Discord. I said that I'm just gonna like the next game Hypixel releases, I'm gonna like know life and be good at it and upload it and become famous. I mean, that's actually a really smart strategy. I'm being mostly ironic when I say that, but that's how Technoblade got big. He jumped on Sky Wars, and then he jumped on Bed Wars, and then the Minecraft Mondays is the real thing that made him blow up. But like, I mean, Sky Wars and Bed Wars is what made him like go big. He probably had about like 30K subs off of Blitz at a certain point, which is nuts for Blitz. But like, he went up to 100K, a million off of Bed Wars and Sky Wars.
Yeah, and then the Minecraft Mondays just pretty much put the whole story in.
I've thought about diversifying my content a little bit, but like I'm not gonna play games I don't enjoy for content. Like I don't enjoy Skyblock. If I wanted to, like only get views, jumping on Skyblock and making videos is the best possible path. But I don't really enjoy Skyblock. It's just too grindy to me. It requires too much dedication for me. I just want to be able to play a game casually sometimes, not always feel like I gotta be like on playing it at all times.
Wow.
So like, I'm not gonna jump on a game I don't like if it comes out just for content. I might like one video on it or something like that and see how it does. But I'll only. But if Hypixel like releases a new game that I like, I might do that where I upload that game and also Blitz. Because
Yeah.
that'd be a good strategy to become good at a new game. To get like that's good content. That's how you grow really in Hypixel. That's the number one strategy is to new game, get good at it, upload it. That's
Well,
that's number one strategy for growing on Hypixel.
well, speaking of the new game in Hypixel, Skyblock is the latest that Hypixel delivered. Not counting Summer Simulator, that's just a seasonal game. Do you like Skyblock?
No, dude, my Skyblock Island is just a cobblestone generator that doesn't even work. That's all that's on my island. It's so stupid.
Yeah, because the thing is that when Skyblock came out and for the Hypixel server on the first day, multiple YouTubers immediately just jumped straight into the Skyblocks and just delivered the content right on their YouTube channel. And wow, like for example, with Technoplay with the potato farming, I'm pretty sure that
he's
was the
at
most
2 million
interesting
subs
one.
now, I believe, as of today.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
And
Like
Speed
it is still
Silver
a
too.
possibility.
Speed Silver had about 3K subs off of Blitz. And then he got like decently big over UHG. I'd guess he probably got about 50K off UHG. But Skyblock blew him up. He's at like 150K now, 160K. And it's kind of cool because like me and Scott are actually friends. Like I wouldn't say we're super close, but like we talk every now
Yeah.
and then. We play like when I stream, he'll jump in every now and then. We'll play some teams. So that's pretty cool.
Nice, nice. Well, speaking of your friends, I want to go back to Blitz with the Majestic Walrus days and with the Just 209 and a couple of other recognizable players that you may have remembered but are no longer, well, some no longer playing Blitz or Hypixel anymore, or even Minecraft anymore. A lot of people moved on with their lives. Like everybody just came to the point where it's like, okay, I don't want to play Blitz. I don't want to play Hypixel. I don't even want to bother to go on Minecraft. I'm just out. Which are a couple of YouTubers, like for example, I believe the Just 209 was one of this, where he had all of his Minecraft content removed and he uploaded, I think like one vid of just his whole summary of his day.
Yeah, I think I saw that like a vacation video or something like that.
Yeah. Now the reason I brought this up is because was there any recognizable players that you have seen before, and then are there some players that you miss that you wish that they can be back in Blitz and play at the state of the present? Because as you can tell, the state of Blitz is extremely different to what it used to be way back when.
That's a good question. I want Quasar to come back just because he was the best Blitz YouTuber in my opinion. His videos were hysterical to me. I love Quasar's videos.
I remember that.
But people who are like positive to the community, Justin was one of those. He was very positive for the community. Let me think. One of my closest Minecraft friends was my closest friend at one point in Blitz was this guy called Chris1011. He doesn't play that much anymore, but he has like 45, 50K kills, that range. And we used to play together all the time. And it'd be cool if he came back to Blitz. I don't think Mason still plays Blitz, like on his account called Taipei. He does play Blitz still, but I like Mason a lot. We're good friends, but I feel like I wouldn't call him like an absolute positive influence on the community. I mean, the guy is known for like getting 24K kills on an alt account cheating and getting his main account banned for cheating as well.
Damn.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of who'd be the number one like positive influence. I guess it'd be cool if Technoblade came back and made a few videos.
Oh yeah.
That would really help the game. It's kind of lame to me that the guy just will not play Blitz and he like refuses to play it. I
guess it's just one of the. I feel like it's just one of those things where YouTubers just have to stick with the mainstream games. They have to stick with the most popular. Because as you can tell, Blitz survival games these days, they just gain somewhere around 100 to 200 players each day. It just depends.
Well, honestly,
if there's
just
any
throw us a
time.
bone every now and then, like one Blitz video a month. We'd be more than happy, honestly. Although with that guy uploads like once every 3 months now, so that's a lot to ask, I guess. Let me think. This guy called He used to co-own V's Tercy's guild, NeoPixels. I like NeoPixels a lot. That guy was chill. I think,
Wow.
yeah, he co-owned two guilds, I believe V's Tercy owned. One was Wapple, and one was Tilo, the Legion of Elites. Those are two of the first
Okay, I
guilds I was
remember
in.
Tilo. That I remember.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in both of those guilds. V's Tercy
Wow.
was kind of weird, but I like NeoPixels a lot. And there was somebody else who owned the guild, or who co-owned, who I can't remember, but I can't remember the name, honestly. Um, E. Presley, that guy was a good influence on the community. That guy made a lot of content, like on the forums and stuff. Like he actually owns the famous highest level for each kit thread. If you
Hmm.
remember that,
Yeah, yeah.
where like I think that's pretty cool. So I get to see myself being the 10th person to max out Spelly, and there's like probably 1,000 Spelly 10s now, and being the second person to get Shadow 10. So I like that thread just for that reason, but it's way outdated now. There's probably like 15 times more 10s on there at least than what's actually on the thread.
Hmm.
So I think
Well,
if any
now
more
that you
shoutouts. Oh, yeah, okay, you can ask a question.
Oh, well, I mean, you mentioned a ton of friends, but what I'm curious is, do you think if some of the friends that you've seen before return to Blitz survival games, return to like the Hypixel server, would they immediately spot the difference
Oh
of Blitz
yeah,
survival games and like the state of it?
because like 2014 and 2016, I'd say that time period, for the most part, Blitz was like a pretty tight knit community. Like we had like our own factions and stuff, but like it's nowhere near like it is today, where like we have like left, right, Echoes, Five, Baka, and we all just hate each other. Like it wasn't like that back then, really. There were still like
Yeah,
rivalries and stuff, but like for the most part, it felt like it was all fun and games. The rivalries, it didn't feel serious. There wasn't DDoSing and doxing really, and there
yeah,
weren't
yeah,
many cheaters. Like when people were caught cheating, that was news. When Francis was caught cheating, the community lost their minds, man. If
wow.
that happened today, no one would blink an eye. This guy, for example, named Seared Redstone, 80k kills,
Yeah,
hacks his nuts off, no one cares. Like that's just one example. If he did that in 2015, the community would absolutely lose their minds. Uh, because the game back then was just so much more competitive, and it felt so much more like a real experience to play. Like you knew everyone in the game, and everyone knew you, and like you kind of bantered around. It was fun. People didn't take the game as seriously as they do now. We had a lot more fun in games. But at the same time, there was much more competitive integrity because you were almost certain no one in the game was hacking. Well, at least no one known was. Like there would still be nons back then before we had like even a worse anti-cheat than now somehow, where like people could literally use
yeah,
region hacks and not be able to die. Like yeah, there were little hacks back then. But those
yeah.
were all
Wait,
randoms. They were never like actual players. Another stark difference is tons of staff played Blitz back then. Like you go in a Blitz lobby, there's like 5 mods in there at any
yeah, I
given
recall
time.
that.
Like so many staff played the game, and now like what we have like QTJ, Pencil every now and then. I mean, what do we got besides that? Like no one plays Blitz, no staff play Blitz, and who can blame them? But like one mod would honestly just do so much for Blitz. It would do so much. So yeah, I think they see a stark difference. They see a stark difference in the competitive integrity and the unity of the community, and the presence of staff. I mean, they see so many different things that are just wrong now compared to back then.
Well, what do you think? Well, what do you consider? Let's just say, what do you consider to be the golden age of Blitz? Like,
20
what year?
late 2014 to mid 2015, I would say.
Wow,
That's what I would say is a golden age of Blitz. Maybe late 2014 to the end of 2015. That's when like the best
highly agree.
players were grinding the hardest, like Madge and whatever. I don't think I think VS Tercy like auto clicked pretty hard, but just that aside, like Madge, VS Tercy, Elastico Dezel, Meta Music, Bradley 5656, Vortex, Proline, like all these people, even Rumble Crumble, like
Oh
Just
yeah.
all these people were grinding super hard, and they were just miles ahead of everybody else, honestly, in terms of skill. But there was still like a vibrant community, and it wasn't a toxic mess. I think that's the biggest thing. It wasn't a toxic mess.
True. I highly agree with that. I feel like 2014 and 2015 was the greatest golden age for Blitz survival games.
I
Mainly
think
because most of the times it's just toxicity levels are just low at that time.
I think you could make an argument for 2017 being one golden age because when a lot of the new gen players, it was like this was like a bit before the hacking problem was severe. A lot of the new gen players that are currently super good right now that kind of showed up out of nowhere from like my perspective, like I don't know, like Mason Storm, or like Sean, people like that, Spelly, people who are like big now but didn't play when Blitz came out really. That's when they came in and started showing off and showing how good they are at the game. And like showing like, hey, like these old players in Blitz are starting to quit. There's like a new wave coming in.
Yeah.
And like the 2017 wave of new players was actually pretty positive, I think. It was really competitive and a lot of fun. That's when I did a lot of my grinding. 2017 and 2018 is when I went from like 30k kills to 100k kills those 2 years.
Yeah, and now 100k is basically considered as the highest kill number that you can get to. And probably future on, those kills are just going to get higher and higher.
Yeah.
And some of the players, whoever is going to be competitive at this, they're going to have to step it up. It may take like probably 2+ years.
hmm It's nuts. Like I don't think anyone. I'll be shocked if any more than 3 people pass 200k. I think the three that it'll be will be Darien, obviously, Hangen, obviously, and then maybe Pigman 10. That
Huh.
guy's that guy came out of nowhere and he name changed so often. Just knowing he happened,
Yeah.
he could be fourth place in the game and be a random somehow. It's funny to me. Like that guy like name changed so many times, no one knew who he was, and he just suddenly had a bunch of stats. He boosted a lot of it, but that's besides the point. It's still weird.
Well, speaking of boosting, I mean, yeah, there are actually a couple of players that just not a couple. What am I
Yeah,
saying?
the
Tons of
majority.
players. A majority of players that just ends up boosting and cheating. As a matter of fact, what about the leaderboards? Do you think anybody in the leaderboards cheats or boosted before and still to this day are in order to reach the top of the leaderboards in an unfair advantage?
Okay, I'm gonna stroke myself off real quick. I'm the highest stats player who has not boosted or cheated or account shared myself. So let me
Huh.
just go through the list. Okay, Darien boosted with Mason. Like I'm not gonna blame it on him. He would still be first place, by the way, if he didn't do this. He'd still be first. Take away all of his stats from boosting, he'd still be first, 100%. But like he boosted like 1,000 or so wins with Mason when Mason was cheating on an alt, and like again, that's also just Darian's friend, and it was team mode in like 2018. I understand, but I mean that's he just did. Hongen cheated for about 50k kills. IGPU, the current owner got about half the kills on that account, and the other owner got about half. SniperX obviously hacked for most of his stats. Okay, who else? A Lady Duck account shared pretty hard with like 3 or 4 people. Um, Pigmenton boosts, KNZ boosts.
Hmm.
Sean unknowingly boosted with Gorzy and Spelly at one point. And Hard Styles account shared about 10k kills with I Lost.
Hmm.
Is that everyone?
That's a ton, man.
But yeah, it's everyone in the top 10. Oh yeah, and if you go to like total wins, like Ashua, obviously, don't even need to explain that one.
Oh yeah.
Congrats to John for actually. That guy deserves to be on leaderboards. That guy's crazy. Like that guy actually like he literally just like played team mode and carried Elk, and he's still leaderboard. Like he's like top of one leaderboard and high up on the other one. Like
Wow.
props to John Full, honestly. He has the most wins. He has one of the most like legit wins in the game, honestly, like behind Darien. So yeah,
It's
like if you just took away stats for cheating and boosting from every player. Oh yeah, Adrian, account shared, hacked, and boosted. I mean all three. He account shared about 30, 40k kills and hacked for the rest. after he had like 90k kills on an account share with WeChat for about 40k kills, 40k kills, and then hacked and boosted the rest to get where he is now. And now he's banned for cheating. So literally, like if you remove the stats from players that they got from cheating or boosting, I'd be like fourth. And that's really tilting, honestly. Like if you can see it from my perspective, it's really tilting to know that like I'm not even on kills leaderboard. But if you reverted the stats for players who don't deserve the stats they have, they got them unfairly, I'd literally be fourth. That is really tilting. That is genuinely tilting.
But I find it really sucks though. Like, okay, you can say that a player did boost or cheat just a little bit, but even a little bit is just way too much. Especially when you want to be on the top of the leaderboard, and then here you got some randoms that may have deserved it, but unfortunately they went to the wrong path of how they got there.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Well,
It's demotivating as hell.
well, I do gotta ask. I'm actually gonna go back to the YouTube topic real quick because the main thing that I do like about your channel is live streaming. I know that you've been constantly live streaming Blitz survival games and some other Hypixel games where maybe you can go
Having a
out of
blast.
Minecraft and just exactly.
GeoGuessr
Like,
and stuff, yeah.
and I gotta say, live streaming is such a complicated thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember seeing past vids that you uploaded, well, live streamed a couple of days ago, and still to this day, the whole snipe streaming problem decided to just uprise. And I feel like it uprised even more than what you can ever imagine. And still to this day, it just becomes a huge issue. It's just unsupervised. So,
Yeah.
before anything, what influenced you to start live streaming? And what was the state of live streaming from your first all the way to the present?
When I first started live streaming, this is probably like a year ago, I would guess, when I first started live streaming to YouTube. It was relatively normal. Like, I just live stream, play some Blitz, get about 10 viewers probably, talk to them, play Blitz. It was as if I were like playing Blitz normally, and there's
Mm-hmm.
people watching me do it, but they weren't like, and of course people who would join my games and stuff watching the stream, but like it would be chill. It wouldn't be them trying to be annoying, They'd just be like wanting to play with me, wanting to see themselves from like a second person's perspective. That's cool. Like it's cool to watch yourself fight somebody from like a second person's perspective, like to see how you look when you play the game. Like I understand people stream snipe. I don't have a problem with it if they're
Yeah.
stream sniping for like that reason because they want to like be on my stream. That doesn't bother me. But like steadily as the hacker problem got bigger and as people realized that like if I'm streaming and they go into my games while I'm streaming and do their best to piss me off, like whether it be hacking on me or targeting me or teaming on me, what have you. If they do their best to make me mad, guess what'll happen? I'll eventually get mad. And then I'll be mad on stream. And for some reason that's a thing they like. They like watching me get pissed off at them. They like negative attention. I don't know why. It's kind of strange to me to like see a guy like streaming himself and trying to just like enjoy himself, play a game, and have people who want to watch him play that game watch him. And
Yeah.
there's like a totally like good and happy arrangement. Everyone's happy in it, Like I'm having a good time playing, you're having a good time watching, and they kind of like insert themselves into that transaction, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna like ruin this." And it's really douchey, honestly. Like I'm not saying it's like a huge deal and makes you a bad person because it's just a video game. I recognize that, but it's still
Yeah.
super douchey because it's like unnecessarily ruining something just to get negative attention. And that's been a problem for probably about 6 months for me when I stream. And I've even had like, and here's what at this point, like around now, there's two scenarios that happen. Either I get sniped by hoppers who kill me and teabag me, or I get
Yeah.
sniped by hoppers who want to boost me. There was no in between.
Oh
And
God.
I don't want either of those. Because like boosting is boring. Like I
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to join a game and know the outcome before it even starts. That's really boring. But I also don't want to get hopped on and killed. So like I just want to play Blitz when I'm streaming and just play the game as if I weren't streaming. Play it normally. Like just treat me normally while I'm streaming. That's all I really want.
Yeah.
But people just I don't know why. People just want to like piss somebody off when they're streaming and get negative reactions and see someone get pissed. And the thing that bothers me the most is like people will try to get like they'll do their best to piss you off, and when they actually manage to get you pissed, they act like that's like they win somehow. Like that's like a accomplishment. That like when they did their best to make somebody angry, holy shit, crazy idea. They actually got angry at them. And for some reason that's like a negative on the person they made mad. Rather than it's
Yeah,
rather a negative on them for being a douchebag. But even me talking about it right now like this is gonna make them get boners. Because I'm mentioning them. It's so
yeah,
weird.
it's
It's
too much
so weird,
attention.
man.
It's crazy. And as a matter of fact, I've always thought to myself that I think like cheaters are basically the ones that are just fucking all of this up. But I've actually got to ask you this. Do you really think that the main issue and the main reason why all this is happening in your live stream, is it really because of the cheaters? Or is it because of the fact that mods and staff members are just unsupervising everything in general from from the Hypixel Blitz survival games to the forum posts?
That is the source of the problem. Absolutely. Because, okay, pragmatically, if you
Mhm.
cheat and blitz, two things will happen. You will win more games, and you will not get banned.
Yeah.
So, seeing it like that, why would you not cheat? The reason I don't cheat or boost is because, one, I think it's boring. I think the fact that, like, you join games and you're like, you already know you're going to win the game before the game even starts. There's no challenge. You're not challenging yourself. You're not pushing yourself. You're not improving anything. That's a waste of time to me. To do something and not be to do something like that and like not be pushing yourself, not be improving. Like if I feel like I have to play a game and I have to cheat to like enjoy that game, I'll find a new game that actually challenges me, a new game I actually want to get better at. Because there's no point in playing a game I feel that way about. But also, this is like a really big ignored reason why cheating is bad, but it's the obvious one. It's that you are prioritizing your fun over everybody else's fun. And I'm sure people who cheat have a blast, but like you're ruining the game for 23 people every single lobby you join. Like, is that the kind of impact you want to have? Like, annoying 23 people every 5 minutes for hours a day? Is that the impact you want to have on people? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying like hacking is a big, like, horrible thing to do, but it's still like you're having a negative impact on somebody's day. Like they might have gotten up and they wanted to play some video games to like cool down, relax, have some fun, and they can't because they're just getting ticked off at the game, they're getting annoyed. Like dying to one hacker isn't really going to make someone furious, but if it's happening like over and over, eventually that person's going to get in a bad mood. Inevitably, they'll be
Yeah.
in a bad mood.
And now these
And
days that when hackers like to join the game, immediately some people they just leave the game.
yeah,
They don't want to be a part of any of it.
yeah, it's just like a not the kind of influence I think a person would want to have on people. But again, like the source is like the staff team. There's two problems with the staff team. One, it's structured poorly, and two, they don't care. Okay, the first thing, they're structured poorly. I think the whole idea of progression from helper to mod is really dumb. I think helper and mod should be separate roles that are applied for separately because the skill set required to be a helper and the skill set required to be a mod are not related at all to me. Like, to be a helper, your job is to be nice in chat and help people out, and if someone's being toxic, mute them. To be a mod, your job is to stop people from breaking the rules and exploiting the game and ruining the fun of everybody else. Like, you're supposed to ban hackers and stuff. Like, that's really the main role of a mod is to ban cheaters. And I feel like being a good helper does not translate into being a good mod at all. I think there should be separate roles that you apply for. I think there should be people who apply for mod because they want to get rid of hackers, people who apply for helper because they're nice and they want to be nice in chat and keep the chat nice and happy and not toxic and stuff, you know? It should be separate roles. And there's not enough staff either. They just did a promotion wave, I believe, which is very good. But like there's what like at most 300 staff members for a server that peaks 9900K on the
I
daily.
don't know.
That's not enough staff to deal with that many people, man. It's impossible. And this would all be fine if the anti-cheat functioned, but it doesn't. So what you're left with is not enough staff to deal with cheaters, not enough staff who want to deal with cheaters, like staff who are ill-equipped to, and an anti-cheat that only really works if you're hopping around the map. And even then, sometimes you can get like 2k kills before you get banned. Jake Matney. So like, in that environment, why wouldn't you cheat if you think about it just pragmatically? One more game's not getting banned. There's no like reason, like I said, pragmatically to not cheat. I think there's other reasons to not cheat that don't involve like punishment. But if there's no punishment, there's going to be way more cheaters. That's inevitable. And that's the systemic problem that Hypixel has to deal with. They could do all kinds of things. They could partner with Lunar or BLC. They could upgrade a watchdog. They could buy an anti-cheat from like a good server. Like they could buy anti-gaming chair, for example. Like just they could do so many things to deal with the problem. And what they care about is like adding like cool things to Skyblock. That's all they do. Like, I feel like their priorities are just out of whack. Like, Skyblock should get the most attention. Don't get me wrong. Skyblock should absolutely get the most attention on the server. It's by far the most active game. It should get the most updates. It should. But it shouldn't get that much if it means neglecting everything else. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, like, of course hacking is a problem, but yeah, deep down the problem is systemically the staff team being ill-prepared to deal with the problem.
Yeah, and I feel like it was mostly, and this is another thing, the forum posts. This is where all the fucking thing just comes into play, from
forums,
just random clickbaits to just some random dude calling this guy a pedophile, spamming a lot of pictures of some kid in a gaming headset, to
Polar.
There's just Polar. There's just way too much. There's so much in the forums.
I like everyone just accepts how bad the forums are. Like, no one even cares anymore.
Exactly. Man, like, I kind of wish that I haven't deleted the video, because, to be honest, it didn't really got attention as I wanted, where I basically just visited the forums. And when you look, here's the thing. You can see archived posts of way back when. If you go to the Blitz forums and go all the way back to the last page and then visit a couple of pages forward, you see that these forum posts, they were actually legit. Some people
what level
requesting
10
advice
should I
and
get?
stuff.
Yeah, what kit should I get? What do you guys think is the best kit? Oh, I got this many kills. Oh, congrats to this guy. Whatever, like actual like Blitz related stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are some shit posts in the forums that are funny, but the vast majority are just like, the title is like, toxic plays Blitz, raped a person, and then like the content's the lyric of a rap song. Like, the entire that's like half of the forum post is something like some clickbait title with like lyrics of a rap song, and it's never funny. That would only be funny if it was uncommon, okay? That would. But like, if it's every other post is just some shit post, it's just not funny. And the forums, we just kind of accept it, I guess. I do, at least. I accept the forums as like, yeah, it just sucks and no one cares, it's whatever. But like, yeah, if you really think about it, the forums are horrible, man. Like, there's like almost no actual Blitz content on the forums. On the Blitz forums. It's dumb.
Yeah, and I also love the fact that the last thing I gotta mention about forums is the hacker groups, like, for example, like Star Alliance. Star Alliance really making it public, and yet it just goes to show you that Hypixel never supervised this shit.
Dude, Global Clutch posts videos of him hacking on the forums, doesn't get banned. It's so funny. Because they don't accept first person evidence, I believe, or second person evidence. They only accept like, I don't even know. Like, I've heard you can't submit videos to get people banned anymore, and like they're backlogged on the report section like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's
which again is back to needing more staff, but.
Because here's the thing, I actually reported somebody back in April of 2020, and right now we're in the month of July, and still to this day, not a single response.
Yeah, let me check real quick. I think I might have the same thing. I reported PU, who would be that would be fucking Sasuke plays, one of his alts. Let me check if that's been replied to yet. Like, even lock. Let me check. Report rule breakers. Nope, not looked at yet. April 23rd, 2020. It's been 3 months since then. Not looked at.
Wow.
It's crazy. The backlog is really bad.
Wow. Well, as I said, generalization, well, as you stated as well, it's the moderators, man. Staff and moderators, they ain't doing nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we're going into the hacker topic, I do gotta say, let's talk about guilds. Because here's this.
I am one of those.
Because you got the Baka guild, the Left Right guild, the
Not
Five
Baka
guild.
anymore.
Oh yeah, I heard they got disbanded. So I tell you what.
No.
Well, tell us about your guild, the introduction. And,
Oh my god.
how was it from before and what's the current state of your guild right now?
That's the story right there. Alright. I'm going about like 5-10 minutes on my guild. So I own the guild called Fading Echoes. It's this guild was originally Crit Squad, which is that's the best guild ever in Blitz, pretty much Crit Squad. I mean, under that name and everything, it is for its time. At one point, it had like every good player in it back in like 2014, 2015. Every good player was in Crit Squad. It was made by Madge, Majestic Walrus, obviously.
Yeah.
It was made in May of 2014, and as of now, it is the 15th oldest guild in the top 1,000. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So, Madge owned it until August or July of 2018, where he got perm banned in July of 2018.
Holy shit.
And I was a co-owner, and it was named Fading Echoes because what was the deal was I made my own guild called Fading Echoes, and I didn't have like a whole lot of stuff unlocked. It was pre-guild update, and Madge said, "Hey man, you can use my guild to have all this stuff. I'll make you co-owner and stuff. You buy all your players." I was like, "Sure, I'll do that." And I was co-master in his guild, and like I invited all the players over from the old one to Crit Squad, and he renamed Fading Echoes. And it was like that for like a month or so, like probably 2 months, and then Madge got permed. And so the guild had no owner. I was a co-owner, Madge was GM. So like I didn't have access to a lot of the things I needed. So I asked Mason, "Hey man, is it okay if I request a transfer since you're perm banned?" And he said, "Yeah, go for it. I'm okay with that." So I emailed support, and they told me we'll have to wait a month or so, and once again in a month, and we'll tell you if we decide to transfer or not. And I did that, and they transferred the guild to me. So I had evidence of Mason saying I could do it and everything. So then I owned Crit Squad, which is awesome to like own like the #1 Blitz guild of all time, really. I mean, it still is statistically. But like it was like back then, it was like whoa. Like imagine if I told my 2014 self I would be on leaderboards and on Crit Squad. Like what? I'd lose my mind.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I would lose my mind if you told me that in 2014. So like, I owned it, and I ran it for about 2 months before I kind of had I kind of stopped playing Minecraft. I found this game late, but I found a game called Overwatch. I found it from Madge and like GameBuster and Aiden and Quasar playing it in their videos, and I wanted to check it out. Darian played it too. So I got into Overwatch, and I played with him a little bit, but eventually I stopped playing with him, and I played with my friend Nick, and I played with Tupan, Nick, this guy called Jacob or Verdings. Main three I play with right now. But I found that in like late 2018, and I started grinding that, and I wasn't playing Blitz much. Like I played it like once or twice a week at that point. Because this was like also like the after the summer where I got leaderboards and 100k kills, and I grinded like 500 wins a month that summer, which is a lot for me, especially solo wins. So like,
I can reach that.
so like I was burnt out at that point from playing Blitz. I wasn't playing much, so I was like, you know what? I don't feel good owning a guild if I'm not gonna play. So I transferred the guild to Tom or Hardstyles, and he owned the guild. And he ran the guild for about almost a year, I would say. He ran the guild.
Wow.
And I played Overwatch for the most part. And I started playing Minecraft again during the summer of 2019. And I think I asked Tom because Tom wasn't playing Minecraft at that point that much. I said, "Hey Tom, are you willing to transfer the guild back to me?" And he said, "Sure," pretty much. So I got ownership of Echoes back in probably maybe September of 2019, August 2019, something like that. Got ownership of the guild back, and we started growing from there. And from that point, I started inviting a lot of high stats players. I got Milnex and Tainan in there around that time period, who were one is currently a co-owner and one was a co-owner. He Milnex left for Left Right. No, he left for a different guild, I think at first. But then he eventually went to Left Right because it was super stressful to be a co-owner of that guild. He was doing most of the work, I'll be honest. He was a really good co-owner. That man single-handedly killed drops. Because drops are okay. Let's go on to the drops competition, I guess. Drops was the only guild that was actually competing with Echoes in Blitz. At one point, it got really close because we were top of Blitz wins by a mile for most of the time, but then suddenly Drops was closing that gap. They had about 200 and at one point they had about 230k, and Echoes had 240k total Blitz wins.
Holy hell!
And they were about to pass us. And this is when Milnex decided, you know what, I'm gonna go kill Drops real quick, BRB. And we got people like Mason Storm and Night Nurse and Gerari and Ornithology and Panda Shade. Let me see, who else do we get? We got we got Dash. We got a lot of people, really. We got a lot of players from Drops. And that gap kept widening. And then Drops was at 200k, and we hit 300k total Blitz wins. But it didn't stop there. Echoes kept going up. We hit 350k total Blitz wins. And then, which I'm sure no other Blitz guilds ever come close to, we hit 400k total Blitz wins. We're not at 400k anymore, but we peaked about 405k total Blitz wins, which is insane. That's that's 16 Darians in one guild, literally. That's actually nuts. That's if you average that, that's almost 40k or 4k wins per player. A bit less than about 4k wins per player.
That's just incredible, man.
On average. So I know stats are not the only thing that matters about a guild, but Echoes is the most statistically impressive guild in Blitz ever by a mile, yeah. I think. Just right now we're sitting around 350k total Blitz wins, which is we're actually getting some competition now from 5, because 5 is around 220k right now, and we're at 350k. It's the first actual competition we've had in a while, especially because before 5 took over, before 5 took over, a lot of our officers, and I saw this coming. It was when I was taking care of the puppies. I wasn't playing a whole lot of Blitz. And a lot of the officers in my guild made their own friend group called The Boys. It was Mason and Night Nurse and Pickett and Josh and Tainan and Zyken and a lot of people in my guild who are really active and cool. And they made their own friend group, and I didn't participate in that friend group a whole lot. So eventually they were like, we're going to go try something new. We're going to make our own guild called BBG. We're going to join BBG. And they did that. And a few of them are still in BBG. Oh yeah, Kuma too. And a few of them have left to 5 now. Mason owns 5 now, which is pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
So we lost a lot of our best officers, honestly. And we lost Milnex, and that was a hard time for us. We had 2 officers in one co at one point. And then a little bit after Milnex left, I promoted Pongo Saints to co-master. And then I promoted YOLO Cool 2001 to co-master a few weeks ago. So our 3 co's right now are Pongo Saints, YOLO Cool, and Tainan. Okay. And our officers right now are Spidey, Death Crit, Saliance, Saki, and KSC. So we have a lot less staff than we used to have, but we're still at 120 players in the guild right now.
Well, at least that's great news, because I always thought to myself that because 5 Guild, which I heard was recreated, I always thought to myself that probably half the population of your guild, they just immediately like switched,
Oh, it
which I
hurt
was kind
us.
of concerned
We
us.
went to about 105 players at one point. We lost a lot of players. Yellowclaw's been popping off with the guild invites. He's been inviting a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's a good
And
promotion on
yeah,
my part with Yellowclaw. He's a really good co-owner.
huh. Like it's kind of crazy because I just remember like yeah, BBG was created, and then here comes out of nowhere, Five Guild was created, and then everyone's like, well, that was BBG. Let's like head over to
Yeah.
Five, you know?
Yeah, I
Like
thought
that
they're
was
gonna
just
come
pretty
back to
quick.
Echoes, and they probably would have if I wasn't recreated. So five is the most recent guild that Echoes has to compete with, and I think five is pretty cringe. Personally, I think there's a lot of cool people in it, but like it
Yeah,
was cringe in 2018, 2017. It'll probably still be cringe. I hope it will be at least because it's like our competition. I hope they end up like dying down soon.
yeah.
But they were scary at one point. I mean, they went from like no stats to passing drops and stats in like 3 days.
Wow.
So, and they're at 220K right now. They've only been a thing for like 2 weeks. So they're pretty intimidating, honestly. But they're maxed out in players now and still a lot of stats behind. So it's a good chance they're not going to pass us. But they could. Like if there's a guild that's going to pass us right now, it would be five, no doubt. And that would be a 2-year reign done. That'd be crazy.
Well, what was like the greatest rival from the guild? What do you consider like drops?
Yes, drops was the
Or,
biggest rival to Echoes for sure.
yeah,
I mean, we had that GBG where we got rolled, so like that made the rivalry even more bitter for us because we got destroyed in the GBG. It was 9-1. I mean, that's all memes and stuff. I don't joke about it, but yeah, we were just outclassed because drops has like 9 or 10 incredibly good players. At least I had that many, and they just used that roster and destroyed us. And we were kind of like we weren't taking it super seriously, and a lot of our best players were not actually available to play, which kind of sucked. So like we were kind of like memeing around and playing diver and shit. But I'm not gonna like act like we like didn't get rolled. I mean, they were just the better CVG on their side at that point. And I wanted to rematch them at the beginning of June this year, but Drops was too dead to GVGS again. It was so dumb. It's like instead of being better than them in a GVG, we just like stole all their best players. And I was like, that's how we'll do it. That's the strategy.
wow.
It was so dumb.
Do you think that rivalries from before and here we are with former Baka, if Baka was still here, that would have been a bigger issue because Baka supposedly I think was like what a
Well,
hack guild.
I mean, Baka and Left Right aren't competition to Echoes because we're competing for different player bases.
Yeah,
Like,
but I just have a feeling like, do you think like the rival of right now just feels like a virtual mafia than what it was like way before, where it's like safe and nobody freaking DDoSed anybody or whatever.
oh yeah. Oh, I don't associate that person with any of the guilds, to be honest. So, like, honestly, I'm chill with most people in Left Right and Baka. Like, I think it's cringe that they cheat. Like, I'll call them out and say, hey, dude, that's lame. But like, at the end of the day, I'm chill with most of them. Like, I'm chill with Najur, I'm chill with Balin, I'm chill with Uzi, and I'm chill with Sosa. I'm chill with most of those people. I'm chill with Milnex. Like, there's no real hatred there. I don't really have any hatred for any guild at this point. Like, because Gooch is dead. Gooch was the only one I would have hated. I guess Gooch and AI are the two guilds I would say I actually don't like. But, like, left, right, I mean, they're really annoying, but just, like, as people, I don't mind them. And I liked Baka, actually. Baka was funny. I don't mind Baka at all. They're kind of annoying, but they were funny. But, like, they weren't really rivals because they weren't rivals like Five or Drops because we were competing for different player bases. Like Echoes and Drops and Five compete for like people who actually care about the game and people who are actually good at the game, whereas Left, Right, and Baka compete for people who are like kind of like fucking around, having a fun time, cheating, whatever, boosting, just like not caring really. So we're
Yeah.
competing for different player bases, so they're not as scary to me. Really, they're not really rivals. Right now, it'd be Five. Although they seem to be a lot more aggressive to us than we are to them. we don't. We were just kind of like chilling. They're kind of like hashtag five every game, and like I'm getting DM'd by like French Blues and Disc on Key, some toxic shit. Even though I'm chill with most of the ownership in five, like Sosa and Mason.
Yeah,
Hyperbole.
and hell, I mean, as a matter of fact, I also got to add this in. There was this dude named Dark Luke. He was a co-owner of the BSG Guild that was owned by Sir Skull, still is his day, and he transferred over to Five because he said to us that Five was the most competitive guild, and I really want to join in. I need something competitive, so we were
As
like,
of
okay,
now, it is. Yeah, it's the most active Blitz guild. I won't
yeah,
deny that.
crazy.
Right.
So with that point on with the guild, there's just so much that has changed within the ecosystem of Blitz survival games. Do you wish for something to change? And what will it be? Do you wish something to come back as well? Like what is it that you want to come back? Anything. Maybe kits. Like for example, like freaking like the old days of speleologists and then they just like freaking nerf the heck out of it. Like anything.
That's a good question, actually. I look fondly on the days before Reaper was broken, before Ranger was a thing. Those were cool days. Let me think. I think of like a kit revert I would like. Maybe Rogue having more sword uses. That was fun. Rogue on Calum is still a blast to this day.
Yeah.
Let me think. Dude, kits like Snowman and Horse Tamer used to be so busted too. Like I don't miss that. I don't miss Snowman getting a Prot 4 Iron Helm full chain and a Diamond Axe with 4 snowballs who would go like machine guns. Like I don't miss
Damn.
that. I don't miss Horsehammer getting like a horse that just goes like across the entire map of Winter in 2 seconds at Mach 11 speed with like a diamond sword equivalent weapon and 4 healing potions. I don't miss any of that. I don't miss Astro getting strength potions. I don't miss any of that stuff. But I do miss Belly actually being a decent kit. Spelly is horrible now. That was my first main kit. I played it for about my first 20, 30k kills exclusively pretty much. And Spelly is kind of doo-doo now. I kind of miss those days where Spelly was good. Let me think. I think kit balancing, believe it or not, for the most part, is actually about the best it's ever been right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ignore a few kits like a Ranger, or like a few like broken kits like a Ranger and Reaper, and a few horrible kits like a Knight or Fisherman or Florist. Like for the most part, the kit meta is actually not too bad. Like the gap between D tier and A tier, I would say, is not that bad. Like I mean, kits in D tier can still beat kits in A tier with the right game sense and skill. Kits in F tier cannot beat kits in S tier. But like D to A tier, it's a lot more even than it used to be, honestly. So I think the kit meta is actually very healthy.
That's good to hear. Well, what do you think is the worst kit?
The worst kit, Fisherman.
Highly agree.
I think it's worse than Knight, just because it's just like a crutch for hotkeying, and once you get rid of that, it's just like a worse Astro. It's Astro that replaces like a res 4 pot or 4 res pots for 16 seconds and feather falling for a rod. That does like honestly the rod is worse than the stone sword too. It gets shit crits and you can't get sharp 1 on it. So it's just a worse version of like other full chain kits like Necromancer or Astro. And like the weapon is terrible. Honestly, it's only fun if you're trolling and like trying to fish and get like crazy items out of fishing. That's the only time you'd ever play Fisherman, really. It's if you're trolling.
Wow. And yet here I am thinking that Knight was actually the worst. But to be honest,
Knight's
I'll be
second
honest.
worst, I think, for
Yeah.
sure.
But damn, that is just so much you have been through, especially the fact with even your YouTube channel. Like I'm actually surprised that still to this day, even though sometimes you do get screwed over in the live stream, you are still going strong, still not giving any publicity from these snipers and stuff, even though they are desperately wanting to piss you off. Like, I'm just hoping all of this can just slow down for you. Because here's that. I legit actually feel bad for you that stuff like this has to keep on happening. And I believe that I can't recall if Duck Duck Dog was the one that released a statement about it. He made a video just saying like, streaming is just becoming a
Madge.
pain.
It was
Or
Madge,
was
I
it?
think.
Oh, okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He released a video that I believe was like 30 minutes long or
Why
something.
Blitz YouTubers quit or something like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was Madge. That was Madge.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
good
okay.
video.
I do know that Dr. God also uploaded a video something about like I think it's something where it says like don't expect the Blitz update or something soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably it
yeah.
can happen later, but just not soon. So, what do you think is the future of your YouTube channel now? Besides all of this toxicity and the boosting and all this bullshit that's happened around, you know, because we're all trying our best to actually pretend like Blitz is actually a positivity shit. Am I right? What will be the future of your channel? Would you still upload content about Hypixel and Blitz? Like, what do you think?
Well, okay. I think the future of my channel, I do want to keep with the Blitz content. I do want to keep streaming Blitz. I do want to keep like uploading it. I do want to keep making montages. I think that'll be the case for a good amount of time. But like as I'm getting older, there are things I could do. Like for example, I want to travel a lot in my lifetime. So for
Hmm.
example, travel vlogs could be a thing I do long term at some point. Um, I also could start making GeoGuessr videos since I do them on stream pretty often. See how people like them. But my main goal with my YouTube channel at this moment is to make it so I can kind of make some money on the side in college while making content that I'd be doing anyway. That's the main goal of my channel at the moment. I don't really have like a super long-term goal for my channel because the way I see it is it's not my long-term career goal at all. But if it turns out if it somehow happens to blow up, I am totally okay with that. I will not complain. You know,
Nice.
that's pretty much how I see it.
Wow. Wow, that was just so much. There's just so much that we just heard from you that it was just like way tons of information. It's like is there anything like missing in the gaps of your story for Hypixel and Bliss Survival Game and your YouTube career?
Man, that's
Was there anything that you want to fill in?
we went over my guild, we went over my channel, we went over like my history in the game. That's why I don't know. Let me think. If I missed anything, I guess I could just talk about like the communities I've been a part of in the past in Blitz, or the
Mm-hmm.
guilds I've been a part of. Because like I think the first major guild I was in was probably Tilo, Legion of Elites. I was also in the Just 209's guild called Team Snipe. I was in this guild at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
I
owned
was
it.
actually in that guild.
Yeah.
But I was just a plain member.
I was in Crit Squad back in like 2015, 2016. Which is pretty cool. Like Mason kind of like brought that guild back a few times, like over the years. They probably had like 3 or 4 times it came back. Each time it came back, it just blew up and took over the game.
Wow.
I was ever in Chaos. I was in Darian's guild called Proximity back when he owned that. That was the top guild at the time. And then I owned Blazing Star, my first guild. That one was fun. I was a friend group for the most part. Like people you would know now, like I think Aver was in it. I believe I think Dash was in it, the Crossing Dash. I mean, I'm forgetting a lot of people here, but like a lot of like old friends I had were in that guild. Eeriness was a co-owner in that guild. Just for example. Me and Ellie used to talk all day, man. Me and Eeriness used to be really good friends. It kinda sucks we don't really talk that much anymore. But it's whatever.
Wow.
He's got his own friend group in Drops pretty much. He went to Drops after Blazing Star kind of fell apart. But yeah, like
Yeah.
pretty much ever since Blazing Star, I think I was in Zone for like a week or so. Sly Pros Guild, which is kind of cringe, but ever since Blazing Star, I've pretty much owned my own guild, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like we've not missed a whole lot. I've been pretty thorough here. How I got into Minecraft, how I got into Hypixel, how I got into Blitz.
All right.
Positive impacts on the community, people I think that were cool.
And we got
My
the
guild,
negative.
my channel. That's a lot of stuff to cover. It's almost everything, really.
Yeah. All right then. Well, before I go ahead and conclude this interview, Rain and Blitz, I do have to say one more question. What would be considered one of your most memorable moments in Hypixel Blitz survival games, as well as your YouTube career? But just one. What is the memorable? Only one. Take your time to think this truly.
I don't know if I want to say like a stat achievement, because I'll go ahead and go with that. When I hit 100k kills, there's two I'm kind of battling in my head actually with right now. One's in like 2015 and one is like in 2018. And I can't decide. Okay, honorable mention when I max belly in 2015. I was 13 years old. I lost my mind because I was actually cool back then to get level 10. But main one, 100k. When I got 100k kills, I am I believe, 11th person to do that. And there's like 25 people with it now. But I believe I'm the 11th person. It might be 13th. It's 11 to 13th in that range person to get 100k kills. And that was in July of 2018. That was after me grinding all summer, playing so much, just being a loser with no life, pretty much. But like, dude, I worked for that shit. I played so much for 100k. And when I finally hit that number, it was Henry, by the way, who's one of the top level grinders now. Not level, AP grinders. It's like top 3, I think. It was Henry. When I got that 100k, man, I was so hyped. That was like, I felt like when I got 100k, I'd finally like accomplished it. I'd played Blitz so much, and I'd hit a number that I'd been working for so long. It was like, I did it, you know? I made it. I got that crazy number. It's probably the most impressive thing I'll do in Blitz. So that was probably the most memorable moment, was when I got that in a call with all my friends. I was yelling, having a blast. Like, I was hyped. That was probably number one moment, I think. That's what I would say. That was a lot of fun.
Well then, gentlemen, that is Butter Toxin. Julian plays Blitz. And Julian, I really thank you so much for coming over for Rain and Blitz. Like, the story that you just explained, from your Minecraft and Hypixel career to YouTube career to explaining the whole history of your guild to seeing the state difference of Blitz from before and after, like, it's just incredible. And I really hope that still to this day that your channel grows even stronger than ever before. You're overcoming all of this craziness of toxicity that still happens, especially when it comes to live streaming. Like, I really hope you succeed and pass 1,000 subscribers and be part of the YouTube partner program.
I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. No problem, man. Anyways, guys, support Julian. His channel will be on the description. Help him to go over to 1,000 subscribers. So, oh, and I just got word that French Blues got banned. What the heck? Being disrespectful with the what?
Wow, SMH my head, French Blues.
Wow, you got banned just to be disrespectful in the community? Well, maybe something's gonna happen in the future. All right, man. Well, see you, man.
Bye.
All right.